Hi, welcome to yet another episode of Chew on This by Flax. Today we have with us Raisa. Raisa has been in the beauty industry for a while now, and while she works on the business end of things, she's also a very well-known influencer in the space. Thank you, Raisa, for coming down.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited we're doing this together.
You're really glowing, absolutely glowing right now, and I know it's not the lighting because I'm sitting under the same light. But
It is some makeup.
I mean, that's enhancement. But no, seriously, I've seen you without makeup, and I know you have really good skin.
Thank you.
What is your secret?
There isn't one thing. But I will say, I think it's a bunch of things that come together. I've always said this. I do create a lot of beauty content. But if you aren't looking after what you're putting inside, you could buy the best, the most expensive treatments or products and it's not going to show.
So you need to glow up your gut to glow up your skin.
100%. 100%. Like what you put in is
Yeah.
so important and I think it's so underrated in today's day and age.
So tell me something about being vegan.
Okay.
Is that something that is directly related to skin? Was that a choice you made for health reasons or
Right.
otherwise?
So it's very controversial that I became vegan as well in my household and with people around. I've been vegan for more than 15 years now. Now, having said that, I went vegan because I got diagnosed with PCOS. And at that point, I tried everything, right? I went to an endocrinologist, a gynecologist. The only thing I was told was lose weight, and I couldn't lose weight. I was 40, 50 kilos more than what you're seeing me today. And I tried everything possible. And then I went to, a macrobiologist who kind of just suggested, why don't I go dairy free? And in my case, it was dairy free because I was anyways vegetarian. Month it was very difficult because I was an absolute junk food foodie. Yeah, I went vegan and in the first 3 months my life changed. Like my hormonal profile was a lot better. I did get my menstrual cycle on time and after that there was no looking back.
Tell us pre-kale and post-kale Raisa stories.
The clean eating is a very abused word is what I think. But yeah, you're right. Pre-kale, the only veggies I ever ate were potatoes and peas. It's very difficult for people who know me now to even fathom that that's the kind of person I used to be. But it's very true. I was a purely pizza, ice cream kind of girl. I loved it. I still love it. I'm not going to say that, no, I hate it or anything. I absolutely love it. But the difference was just so massive. And I had to train myself also to eat a lot of foods that I never ate before, be it nuts, seeds, fruit I still struggle with other than mangoes. But I had to inculcate like a palate for it. And the only reason I did that was because the changes I saw with my hair, with my skin, like I said, with my menstrual cycle, all of that was just so enormous that this seemed like a very tiny thing to change in the larger scheme of things.
Really glowing up is inside out.
100%. Yeah.
Has your food journey been a delicious one, the transition?
Hmm.
What was your perception of healthy earlier?
Look, my perception of healthy earlier was always, it's not tasty. And I'm somebody who loves my food. I'm a massive foodie. There's a new place in Bombay. I have to be the first one there. I get massive FOMO if I'm not. And honestly, back in the day, we didn't have so many options. Like today, you go to every restaurant, be it, something that's right down your house or a Michelin star restaurant here in Bombay, they do have an option of a vegan menu or a sugar-free menu or whatever, whatever your dietary restrictions are. When I got into this, there was nothing. I was making oat milk at home thanks to my mother, almond milk at home. There weren't any sugar substitutes per se. And that's why I keep telling people around me, you don't have good excuses.
Let's talk about some of your non-negotiables for a healthy skin, and that could be in your diet or your regime, whatever it is.
I don't think anyone's going to eat with me after I tell you what my non-negotiables are. Okay, so first up, I don't have dairy. So if I don't have, it's extremely rare that I would have dairy. Let's just say that. Sugar is a big no. And I know that's very controversial again, but I've been having stevia for the longest time and I'm fine with the aftertaste. And processed food. So a lot of like maida, all of that is out for me. Even the bread I consume is made at home. So yeah, these are my non-negotiables for sure. Protein, which I think a lot of us lack, especially if you're vegetarian, vegan, you really need to make that extra effort to get it in.
Yeah. There's this whole conception with protein that it's for your muscle. What people forget is that there are facial muscles. Your skin is also supported by muscles. So your collagen and all of these components are also protein at the end of it.
100%. So when it comes to my food, it's this. And when it comes to skincare, the two things that I swear by, sunscreen and retinol.
Okay, that help. Okay, I'm taking mental notes. I'm going to take product names from you after.
Yeah.
I personally feel that as you grow older, all your choices reflect more amplified.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me or everyone feels that way, but everything that we do as the decades pass, the effects of that are far more amplified, and by that I mean the good and the bad as well.
For sure.
I feel like ever since I started with this rainbow colored foods, just this obsession with like having like a rainbow colored meal through the day, I actually feel like my skin is a lot healthier than it actually was in its 20s. So you're talking about slow aging.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like, certain foods have helped me
100%.
Anti-age.
Yeah.
In terms of my skin health.
Yeah, that's because of the antioxidants, right? And we need a lot of it because we are exposed to a lot of oxidative stress, which means dust, pollution, the sun. So if we do have a lot more colors, it does protect our skin a lot more. So that's what you're doing. You're doing the right thing, right? So like I said, it's not about what you put on the outside, but what you have inside. And another thing I think for everybody watching, they should know once you hit 20, every year from then, you lose 1% of collagen. So if you're going to eat healthier, going to put that sunscreen, it's just going to help with collagen production as well. And obviously retinol is one of the things that definitely helps with collagen production, along with, taking your antioxidants and also applying your antioxidants. So it's a mix of both. You got to it's a good balance that you got to maintain between all of it. And imagine by the time you're 30, 10% is already gone.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Play a really fun game. It's called Eat Your Way to a Better Skin.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some skin scenarios and you tell me what would you order from the Flax menu to fix that situation.
Okay, let's go.
So for glowing skin.
The Energizer, it has kale, green apple, orange. I'll always say yes to kale. So yeah.
Awesome. For acne prone skin?
The Glow Bowl. It's called the Glow Bowl. So
yeah. For shiny, bouncy hair?
The quinoa and kale salad. I do see kale's a theme here, but yeah, I love my kale. Okay,
and just because you deserve a treat?
The flourless almond cake.
Perfect.